up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, and TV shows. And right now, I'd like to give you guys my thoughts on Expedition Bigfoot Season 2, Episode 11. And oh my goodness, what an episode this was. Honestly, guys, I'm kind of convinced that Bigfoot exists now. Call me crazy, but I'm a little bit convinced now. Those tracks were extremely convincing. I mean, unless it's like the expert on footprints told them, unless one of their own crew was hoaxing this, then it's legit. And I don't know. I guess that's possible. It's one of the two. You've got a Bigfoot or somebody in that crew is hoaxing it. And I guess that, the skeptic is going to say, well, which one of those is more likely? Somebody in their crew hoaxing or Bigfoot existing? And most people would say somebody in their crew hoaxing. And I'm over here like, I don't know. I don't know. Especially given the fact that the eDNA came back and it says that there are primates in the area. Not humans, but primates. That is a huge indicator to me. I'm over here like, how is this not national news? If eDNA is actually that cutting edge and it's that legitimate of a science, how is this not national news? Like all over CNN and Fox News and MSNBC, how is this not all over the TV saying primate DNA found in Washington or California or wherever the heck they're at? I think they're in Washington. How is that not all over the news? How is that not being reported on right now? How is there not reporters over there right now saying, we're here in Washington looking for the Bigfoot. We'll keep our eyes out, Steve. We'll let you know if we find anything. Back to you. How is that not happening right now? It's boggling my mind, because I'm just over here watching this episode and I'm like, holy crap, that's proof. That's proof. And I've always been the guy who said, until there's a body, there's no proof. And I still stand by that. Until there's a body, there really isn't any proof. But I'm over here like, whoa. That's like as close as you can get. It's not only that we get the great tracks. And when Russell said that he saw something, he was up on that bridge and he said he saw something wander off into the woods. I was like, okay, you saw something. You saw a bear, or maybe the backside of a deer or something like that. And then he gets down there and he finds the tracks, and I was like, okay. All right, I'm with you. I'm with you for the trip now, Russell. I'm walking with you and I'm listening intently. And then he finds the multiple tracks, and I'm like, all right, you and I keep talking. But then at the end of the episode, the eDNA, I'm like, either this is legitimate science or it's not. Tell me, is eDNA, is this environmental DNA stuff that they're working on, is it legitimate science or is it hogwash? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Somebody tell me. Somebody in the comments right now tell me, yes, LQ, this is legitimate science. There has to be primates in those woods somewhere. Or you can come back and say, nah, LQ, this is still kind of, this is unproven science, or this is still science that they're working the kinks out of, or whatever the case may be. Somebody who knows their stuff needs to tell me. Because I'm over here like, if they're saying it's a legitimate science, I'm convinced. I need somebody who knows their stuff right now to get in the comment section and say, yes, LQ, this is legitimate, or no, LQ, it's not. Because I don't know if eDNA is legitimate. I teach history. I teach about people who've been dead for 200 years. I don't teach cutting-edge scientific technology. I teach history. They didn't even know what DNA was about the stuff I'm teaching in one of my classes right now. I don't know. I don't know. So I need you smart people out there watching the LQ Review to tell me, is eDNA legitimate? Alright, so we get to the end of the episode, the fires roll in, and they have to take off. And it's one of those things where I was like, once they set up camp near where the footprints were, I was like, okay, this is becoming very standard. They're saying, we're closer than ever to finding the Bigfoot. And I'm like, well, really you aren't. Because you found footprints before. You've had footprints before. Just about every Bigfoot show I've ever watched has found footprints. So you can't really say for sure that we're closer than we've ever been. I can feel it. That's cool, man. That's cool. You really don't know that. So I had this feeling that there wasn't going to be a Bigfoot, that they weren't. Of course, they're not going to find a Bigfoot, because that would have been national news already had they found it. But I kind of had the feeling they weren't going to find anything else, honestly. And then the fires rolled in. Now, my father-in-law, he lives in that region, and this fire actually pushed him out of his home, and he didn't know for quite some time whether or not he still had a home. Thankfully he did, and when he went home, his house was intact and everything. But yeah, I've got a personal connection to those fires. But I'm glad that my father-in-law was okay. I'm glad that his house was okay. But I mean, come on, how is these fires getting in the way of Bigfoot finding? Come on. That's more important. They should have redirected every effort to stop the fires around these people. Of course, I'm being facetious. Don't come at me with your keyboard warriorness saying, that's disrespectful to the people who lost homes. I get it. I was making a bad joke. It was a bummer. That they had to cut that section of their exploration short. And I can sympathize with the fact that they legitimately seemed upset. I look at somebody like Russell. I don't think this is somebody who'd be a good actor. I don't think that Russell could act sad like he was displaying in this episode. I think he was legitimately heartbroken that they were leaving. But then we got the eDNA, and that's picked me right back up. I was like, ooh, let's listen to this. So I think we have one more episode in this season, and I think it's going to be like a research episode where they go over a lot of their findings, and that's fine. But this was a great ending to this season, and I'm already on pins and needles waiting to see what comes next. I am going to go back and watch season 1 of last year's Bigfoot is Real. So for the people who have been following my Expedition Bigfoot videos, between now and season 3 coming out, I'm gonna watch and review all the episodes of Bigfoot is Real. I didn't catch it on its first turn, and now that I have Discovery Plus, I've got a list of shows that I'm wanting to watch, and one of those is Bigfoot is Real. So I'm gonna work through that one, and I'll review it an episode at a time. And this will probably be something that most of you have already seen, but that's okay. We can still talk about it. So I'm excited about doing that. So guys, what did you think about episode 11 of season 2 of Expedition Bigfoot? Let me know in the comments down below. Have you seen Bigfoot is Real, the show I'm getting ready to tackle and talk about each episode? If you have, let me know what you thought of that show. I'd love to see what you think about it before I really get started on it. And as always, guys, thank you so much for joining me right here at the LQ Review. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we'd love to talk about. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you leave a comment. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.